minister, in the petition that has been signed off by several citizens of the country, what his views are on the points that have been brought forward. A lot of the issues that they have brought forward would probably be questions of the members of parliament. But then I would like to go on a little bit further as well, Madam Chair, and ask the minister, again, in my opinion, what to me is more the authority of the minister, and has been given the authority of the minister over the years. I have seen consistently and constantly when ministers come into Parliament, in particular that of the Justice Ministries, continue to give up the authority that they have to basically others. And in my determination, I think basically over the years, the OM is more or less actually sitting in the chair of the Minister of Justice. And I will bring this question up. And I've seen a case the other day which was interesting, of a citizen taking government to court to ask for their police record. Before, it used to be that, a citizen goes and asks for their police record and basically it is given to them. Now, I am understanding that the OM now basically issues the police record, either it's on behalf of the minister or the minister gave up the authority for that. I would like to ask the minister, did you give up, or has the government given up its authority to do so? What is the reason for that, for, in my opinion, a simple police record? And why I say that, because you know, these investigations, what people don't realize, have a very far-reaching effect. Nowadays, if you're under investigation or you've been indicted, even if you've served your time, it has very far-reaching effects. The banks in our own country now refuse to deal with you. You now cannot travel, and I could continue going on and on. In terms of doing business in your own country. So it is basically as if you're put out there on Flat Island by yourself. These members of the OM team, they go back to the Netherlands. They are heralded as heroes for, I guess, locking up whoever they want in the countries that they are there, and they get big appointments. And then the people that are living in the country, their name is scandalized, they are ridiculed, locked up, woken up at 4 in the morning. And I say this, and I've stated it before, and I've seen that certain members of the press didn't like the assumption. But I always used to ask myself as a child why we had history in school. And you realize why you have history in school. It's for the sheer fact that you can now go back and see when these things have happened. Several members in Parliament have mentioned that the tactics that are used now go back to World War II, and I've stated it before, which I consider as Gestapo tactics. And if you go back, the only difference is that you knew who the real enemy was, and at that time it was the Nazis, in the sense that they come in, they take over a country, basically use their own, the Gestapo was made up of basically the own police force of the country, which is exactly what is happening now. You have your own police force that is used in addition to members of the whatever teams that they bring in. So they are using your own people to actually come after you. And to me, it is just a different name, but it is the same tactics that were used in World War II. And I made the mention, again, also another one, is if you look at it too, you have an AFPAC team which comes, seizes your assets, then you go through the court case, and no one talks about the fact that seizing assets can also mean, if you seize my car, and now I have to, after whatever, during the whole length of the court case, I'm using a rental or I have to buy another car, and say, for example, that case is lost, and I'm giving back now the monies for that vehicle, but who then compensates me for having to rent a car or buy another car? Or in the case of even businesses, I lose my truck, my excavator, my whatever, all of that revenue that I was making on that, who then compensates the person for that? I don't think it is fair, and that is why I have been constantly stating that that AFPAC team needs proper policy, and in my opinion, I don't see how it is even, should be even part of our system. I will go as far back as well. St. Martin has always been an issue that government has been sort of lax when it came to the issue of the collection of taxes. Now today, the OM has its own team, what is it, the TBO, and they now go into your taxes, and now they make an issue to where they even now are basically now have become your tax office. So they are the ones now can pick up your assets. They can come now for your taxes. They now can determine, I've seen now, they can determine the output of the dump or the outline of the dump. They now regulate basically who sits in management in the harbor, and they will probably do so with other government-owned companies. And basically what they do, they don't answer to anyone. And please correct me if I am wrong in that sense, because I have yet to hear them answer to anyone but themselves. And why I say that is because points have been brought up by attorney Brenda Brooks, and no mention of her points have been raised. Nobody even says it is going to be looked into. Nobody says, well, it's not true. Nobody says that some sort of investigation is going to happen. No. The front page of one of the local newspapers show clearly members within the justice chain all having lunch together, in my opinion, colluding together. No discussion is happening there. No points raised there. Not even a discussion point. And it is because I believe, again, going back to World War II Gestapo tactics, everybody is scared to discuss what the OM is doing in St. Martin.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
We have been doing what is usually called a survey, an investigation as to how workers in general are affected. And besides the YFL doing that, you have other unions and other entities doing likewise. So this is just one of the exercises. Before you leave, I just compile a follow-up survey form, which I will give each of you to fill out, because it's a continuation of this process or procedure whereby workers can be assisted accordingly as we endeavor to minimize the suffering of workers in general. Joining this very important session is Sister Claire and also Brother Jezaroon. So they will also indicate their desire, their concern, their vision with regards to this mission. So feel free to share your views, voice your opinion. You know, all of you here are employees of Great Bay Hotel, and you know Great Bay was severely damaged by the hurricane. But it's important to know that Great Bay demolition is not a result of the hurricane. Great Bay, the business of Great Bay as a hotel was sold about 2 years ago, and it was their intention to demolish the place anyhow. It so happened that the hurricane came and gave them the opportunity to do the demolition, you know, accordingly. So that is important, just to remind, recap, because some people might think because the hurricane, why Great Bay is demolished, they're going through the process of demolishing, but you know differently. It was their intention for March 2018 to do the demolition, but you know Hurricane Irma came in September 2017, and that caused us to be in this situation as we are now.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds. and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Wib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices, the Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you're for.
Okay, my name is Renette Petty and I am the administrative assistant of the MSAP French Quarter. Here you have Pauline Parrot. She is the responsable, which is the manager of the quartier, the MSAP Quartier d'Orléans.
The president of the collectivity has declared this place officially open. First of all, give us some insight into this place in particular.
Okay, this place was put in place, it was a project that was already being put in place in the different French territories, which would make it more possible for the people to have better internet access and be able to use the websites that are available today from the CAF, the Social Security, the Pôle Emploi, which is our labor office, and certain other associations also come and host like a permanence on certain days at this office also. After the passing of Irma, as you know, we have a big problem with the internet service on the island. So this service came in place a little faster to try to alleviate the problem. So you don't have those long lines by the CAF, you don't have the long lines, by the Pôle Emploi, and then those who are complaining saying that we don't have any internet access. Now you have you have free internet access to access these agencies, and we have the trainees that we have, we call them the stagiaires. The trainees that we have, they're here on the spot and they give assistance also to the population to help them navigate on the computers.
How significant is that place in particular for residents from French Quarter?
It is very important because many people in French Quarter don't have access to the internet. So, and then they don't have the possibility to go to Marigot, to go to those different entities. So they come here and then they refer us. If we really can't do nothing for them, then we send them to Marigot. We take an appointment for them. So we try to do as much as we can here before taking the appointment.
They don't have to beat the traffic to try to get all the way to Marigot to get Concordia, because what we realize is most of the people in this district that use these services, they don't really have their own transportation. They're dependent on public transportation. We also have the problems with job vacancies, and so right now on the island is a little slow right now. So when you have something in your neighborhood where you can just walk over and you got your access, I mean, it will put a smile on anyone's face.
At what time will services be open at this public services house?
Okay, it's from 9 to 1:30 every day, from Monday to Thursday, and on Friday it's from 9 to 12:30.
As I say, things are going forward. Maybe not necessarily what can be seen, but things are going forward. We are on the verge today of finishing the schooling, because that was a priority, fixing of the classes. That was a priority on our table. All is not over as yet, but we want to finish that as quick as possible. At the same time, there's other public building that needs to be destroyed. Others need to be rebuilt. That takes financial means. I hear everything. I hear a lot of things. I hear a lot of money. I can only say with what I have in my budget, and that I know is reality, and that's why things takes time. It's not always seeing something that you know that it's going forward. It's sometimes on paper, sometimes on certain discussions that we have with the state, with our partners, And I know for certain people there's a little bit of frustration. For me, there's a lot of frustration not being able to go quicker. But we have to go along with the law, and that's what we're going to do. No matter how long it's going to take, we will do it.
What kind of a budget are you looking at?
What kind of
a budget are you looking at?
Well, actually, we have been demanding 211 million in the investment that needs to be provided by the collectivity to put back our public institution back in order. Now, we will do with what we have, whether certain consider it small or whether others consider it a lot. Of course, we didn't get the 211 million, but what we have today, we will function with. And if we need more, the government left an open door for what needs to be done. I think we need to spend rapidly the minimum that we have and justify the need of more financial needs to continue the work. I think in order to do things in a decent way, you need to take the time for that, and that is also important for a decent construction for a difference in Martin and a better St.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Working for quite a while on drafting a law to ban, and when I started out, I actually focused on banning single-use plastic bags. That's where I started out. I had many discussions with the Nature Foundation on it. That helps me with information. I also had discussions with the relevant persons on Aruba. And so I finalized that initiative draft law. However, like is required for all laws, it has to go to the Council of Advice. So my initiative has gone to the Council of Advice. They need to look at it and comment on it. And I need to then respond to their comments, whatever the comments may be. From their perspective, they will look at it and then give their reaction. And then I need to react to their reaction. That is a procedure for every law. Every law, whether the law comes from government has to do the same thing to Council of Advice, and then government needs to react to the comments by the Council of Advice. So that's where my draft regarding single-use plastic bags is at right now. However, in the meantime, this matter has picked up a lot of attention, a lot of action throughout the Caribbean, throughout the world. I mean, if you see some of the numbers, and I have included the numbers as information with my draft law, but if you see some of the numbers in terms of the use of plastic, it is staggering. The numbers are staggering. So there's a lot of development, and I am going to expand the scope of my initiative draft law to include other harmful materials. But once I get this through, adding to it is just a matter of an amendment to the law. But I thought, let me get this one in, because I was working on a draft, amending it, changing, adding, and then I say, no, here, I'm going to stop. I'm going to give a whole explanation, which I've done, and get this one in procedure. And then, once I get it back from the Council of Advice, I think that I can amend it and expand what it is that we want to ban. In the draft that I have made, and which has now gone to the Council of Advice, I have put the date that it can go into effect in the hands of the government. Why did I do that? So you're going to have a law, a ban on single-use plastic bags. But with the government being able then by another decree of government saying it will go into effect, for example, the 1st of January 2019, which I hope, then at least government can get with stakeholders, can put a program together for the awareness in terms of plastic and garbage in general in our country. So that's what I envision with the draft. But again, I started with single-use plastic bags, banning the use of those bags. And then I hope to, in the course of the process on the law, to add to that. For example, styrofoam, But once you do that, you also need to be very particular. You have to define what it is. I had to find the definition for single-use plastic bags. But again, it is not about the prohibition. It's not about the ban in itself. It is, in my opinion, more of making people aware of the harmful effects so that they would embrace a ban on single-use plastic bags and other harmful material. Because St. Martin is like right up there in terms of usage, of course, based on if you look at the size of our country and you compare the usage, they match the numbers of much larger countries. And if you see the effects on our environment, I mean, I don't have to repeat the many stories and documentaries that have been written. It is just a serious issue.